Hello and welcome to your MES lesson. I'm Natalie. Today you're going to learn how to ask about a process or condition in the present and past tense. For example, to ask about a process in the present tense, how did the board members manage to approve the budget in such a short time? To ask about a process in the past tense, how did Michael manage to up his sales during the economic crisis? To ask about a condition in the present tense, how do you feel about yesterday's announcement regarding possible cutbacks? To ask about a condition in the past tense, how did you think this takeover was going to go down? You must learn how to use how plus do and did to make these questions. How do you use these questions? First, know how to conjugate how plus do and did. Let's use the example, know when it's the right time to move on to complete the sentence. If you want to ask about yourself using do, please repeat. How do I know when it's the right time to move on? If you want to ask about me using did, how did you know when it was the right time to move on? If you want to ask about Devon using do, how does Devon know when it's the right time to move on? If you want to ask about Gina using did, how did Gina know when it was the right time to move on? If you want to ask about us using do, how do we know when it's the right time to move on? If you want to ask about them using did, how did they know when it was the right time to move on? It's very important to memorize this conjugation fluently before you start practicing video B. Next, know your verbs and really study your vocabulary. For example, how do you? Prepare for important interviews the day before. Stay on good terms with such a diverse team of people. Know when to move on a deal and when to stand back. Finally, to build a more specific question, you can use a time reference. For example, how did Jan meet all her deadlines without breaking a sweat yesterday? Or a prepositional phrase. For example, how did Jan meet all her deadlines without breaking a sweat during the recession? Excellent! Now let's review how to ask about a process or condition in the present and past tense. You ask these questions by knowing the conjugation of how plus do and did and building a more specific question with the vocabulary, prepositional phrases and time references. Well done! Let's move on to video B to really practice making a variety of your own questions. Remember to keep on reviewing your vocabulary. I'm Natalie and I look forward to seeing you soon.